For most of human history, religion has not merely been about rituals or identity. It has been humanity's attempt to answer the deepest questions of existence: who created us, why we are here, and how we should live. Judaism, Christianity, Hinduism, Buddhism, and other traditions emerged in different times and places, each addressing specific societies and historical conditions. Islam does not deny this history. In fact, it affirms it. The Quran explicitly acknowledges earlier prophets such as Abraham, Moses, and Jesus, peace be upon them all, and recognizes their messages as originally divine. But it also makes a bold and unique claim that Islam is not a new religion, but the final and universal continuation of the same monotheistic truth, revealed now for all humanity until the end of time. This claim is not based on blind faith alone, but on continuity, logic, preservation, and applicability. Earlier religious laws were given to specific communities for limited periods. Jewish law, for example, was deeply tied to the children of Israel and a particular covenant. Christianity, while universal in moral message, does not present a complete legal or societal framework, instead relying heavily on interpretations developed centuries after Jesus. Islam, however, presents itself as a comprehensive system, spiritual, moral, legal, and social, explicitly meant for all people, across cultures and eras. The Quran states, "Today I have perfected for you your religion, completed my favor upon you, and chosen Islam as your way of life." Quran 5:2-3. This verse is central to the Islamic claim that divine guidance reached completion with the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him. From a logical standpoint, if God is one, and truth is one, then revelation must also be one in essence, even if delivered progressively. Islam explains religious diversity not as contradiction, but as stages of guidance, much like different versions of the same instruction manual released as humanity develops. What distinguishes Islam is not merely its claim of finality, but the evidence of preservation. Unlike earlier scriptures, which exist today in multiple versions and languages, with debated authorship and historical gaps, the Quran has remained textually unchanged since its revelation in the 7th century. This is not an Islamic assertion alone. It is widely acknowledged by non-Muslim historians and textual scholars. The Quran was memorized, written, transmitted, and standardized within the lifetime of those who personally knew the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him. Its original language has been preserved, and millions continue to memorize it verbatim today. This level of preservation is unparalleled in religious history. But preservation alone is not enough. Relevance matters. Islam addresses not only individual spirituality, but family structure, economics, justice, governance, and ethics, areas where modern societies continue to struggle. Its prohibition of exploitation through interest, emphasis on charity, insistence on justice even against oneself, and clear moral boundaries are not relics of the past, but solutions increasingly discussed in modern discourse. The Quran repeatedly appeals to reason, asking readers to reflect, analyze, and observe the natural world. Do they not think? Do they not reason? Is a recurring challenge, not a demand for blind obedience. This is especially important for an American audience, where skepticism and inquiry are valued. Islam does not ask people to suspend their intellect. It invites them to use it fully. Another crucial point is the concept of God itself. Islam presents a definition of God that is uncompromisingly monotheistic, philosophically coherent, and free from internal contradictions. God is one, eternal, independent, not incarnate, not divided, and not limited by human attributes. This aligns closely with classical philosophical arguments for a necessary, uncaused being. The Quran's short chapter, Surah Al-Ikhlas, summarizes this theology in 4 verses that many philosophers consider one of the clearest definitions of monotheism ever articulated. Islam also resolves a theological dilemma present in many belief systems. Personal accountability. In Islam, every individual is responsible for their own actions. There is no inherited sin, no need for an intermediary, and no concept of salvation through another's sacrifice. This resonates strongly with moral intuition and legal reasoning. Justice requires personal responsibility. From a historical perspective, Islam's rapid spread cannot be explained solely by force, as is often claimed. Large populations, including in Indonesia, West Africa, and parts of Asia, embraced Islam through trade, ethics, and intellectual exchange, not conquest. Even Western historians such as Karen Armstrong and Montgomery Watt have acknowledged the depth and coherence of Islamic theology and law. Finally, Islam's claim that previous religions are no longer applicable is not a dismissal of their spiritual value, but a recognition of progression. Just as older laws are replaced by newer constitutions when societies evolve, divine law culminates when guidance is completed. Islam positions itself as that culmination, preserving the original monotheistic message, correcting distortions, and providing a framework meant to endure until the end of human history. The Quran declares, "And whoever seeks a way other than Islam, it will never be accepted from them, and in the hereafter they will be among the losers." Quran 3:85. This statement is not emotional rhetoric. It is a theological conclusion based on the claim of final, preserved, universal guidance. The purpose of this message is not to provoke hostility, but to invite reflection. If God exists, if truth is objective, and if guidance is necessary, then the final message must be preserved, universal, rational, and applicable across time. Islam claims to meet all four criteria. The question for every honest seeker is not whether this claim is popular or comfortable, but whether it is true. And truth, by its nature, does not depend on majority opinion, it depends on evidence, coherence, and sincerity in seeking it.